Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Kathy with Healthy Ambitions, and today I'm going to show you how to make a super easy keto side to go along with your main entree. Now this is a very basic recipe. I'm going to show you how to make roasted cauliflower florets. And I kind of went back and forth on whether or not to even do a video for this. But after I've started teaching my teenager how to cook in the kitchen because, you know, one day he's going to grow up and have his own place to live and he needs to learn how to cook. And I didn't really learn how to truly cook, like whole food cook, until I was in my 30s. And so even though I've been cooking whole foods for, over a decade now, it's easy to forget that I haven't always cooked this way. And so the first time I cooked roasted cauliflower, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what temperature, I didn't know what seasonings to use or to try out what I could do. And so what did I do? Well, I Google searched it. I went online to find a cauliflower recipe. So even though this recipe may not benefit some people that have been cooking in the kitchen and cooking from scratch and cooking whole foods for a long time, I can't assume that everyone in my audience has been cooking for a long time. So this recipe, this side dish is actually geared towards that novice in the kitchen, that person who is just really getting their feet wet in the kitchen and learning how to cook. And I'm going to try to get more videos out there like this, so I'll have kind of a mix of easy recipes and more complicated recipes. So hopefully it can cater to most of you. And besides that, honestly, even though I have some really fun cauliflower recipes, like a hash brown casserole that's made with cauliflower, I've got some cauliflower tots, I've got, what's the other one? There's one more, I can't think of it. But anyways, I've got these fabulous recipes on my website, and I'll be sure to link them in the description box below. But if I'm being honest, 95% of the time, almost every week when I make cauliflower, it's this recipe that I am going to show you here today. So no need for a long video. I'll quit talking too much. First of all, what am I going to use? Obviously cauliflower, and you can buy a whole head of cauliflower from the grocery store, but I have found that it's very messy sometimes to cut up a cauliflower by yourself. So I get this from my local Kroger, and I usually just get 2 bags and cook them all at once. And then for seasonings, I will spritz it with some olive oil. We actually got these cool little spritzers off of Amazon. Instead of using the aerosol cans of olive oil, this works much better, and all it is olive oil. There are no aerosol ingredients in there to make it spray out. Another option is we turned an old wine bottle into an olive oil dispenser, and we got this little spout off of Amazon. Either one, this works great. Usually I use this when I'm stir frying something, but if I'm just roasting something, this will more evenly distribute the olive oil through a spritzer. And then my personal favorite seasonings is I will use some garlic powder, some onion powder, some salt and pepper. And the amounts, I don't even measure it. I just sprinkle on top. It's kind of seasoned to your taste. Some people like things barely seasoned. Some people like things seasoned a whole lot. A few other ideas, you could really sprinkle some Cajun seasoning on there. You could do some Italian seasoning. I mean, really, when you start making roasted cauliflower, just play around with the seasonings, try new things, find your favorite flavor. The other thing we're going to need, the oven needs to go up to 420 degrees Fahrenheit. And then because I'm making 2 bags, I do have 2 parchment lined baking sheets back here. Again, if you are new to cooking in the kitchen, parchment paper is your friend. This is non-stick. It is good in an oven up to 425 degrees. Some say 420, depends on the parchment paper. Once I discovered parchment paper, it's like my life was changed forever. So I don't have to spray the baking sheet. I don't have to worry about things sticking. This is amazing, and I really like using it much better than foil because things can still stick to foil. All right, guys, I'm going to open up these bags, and I am going to just kind of shake out the little bits in here, and then we'll get everything placed on there and season up. We lost one. That here. I will say sometimes depending on your store, the cauliflower bits are really, really big. So, you know, you may want to go through and break some of them up. That's totally optional. And sometimes they'll just have some really kind of funky bits that I'll just take those off. You want to get these just kind of spread out with some spacing in between them. I'm going to take my olive oil spritzer and I am just going to lightly spritz these and then lightly season. Again, this is just up to you how much seasoning you want on here. And then I will usually turn it and do another round of spritzing. All right, let's do one more. All right, these will go in the oven at 420 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 to 20 minutes. I like to see the little edges of the cauliflower florets starting to brown up a little bit. If they don't go long enough, they may not have sweetened up yet and be a little bit too crunchy. If they go too long, then they could be blackened and a little too soft. So start with 15 minutes and then add, 3 to 4 minutes at a time until they look exactly how you want them to. All right, I'm gonna get these in the oven. So while these are cooking, I wanted to answer a few questions you might have, especially again, if you are a new cook in the kitchen. I know a lot of recipes call you to preheat the oven to a certain degree, and it's very important if you're making things like cookies and cakes or baked goods, typically baked desserts, then those cook times are very specific and how they cook needs to be even. But when you're doing something like roasting vegetables, preheating the oven isn't a necessity. Like, it's not going to ruin it if you put it in before the oven has finished preheating, or if you preheat it once in the oven. It may change the overall cooking time, but it's just not a necessity to be completely preheated first. Another thing I wanted to address, is I thought about this after I put this in the oven, I'm like, somebody is going to comment on this. I did not rinse the cauliflower out of the bag for two reasons. One, the cauliflower that is in the bag is already pre-washed and rinsed before it is bagged. And number two, I'm not eating it raw. This is going to cook in the oven. It is going up to 420 degrees. I'm not too worried about any type of germs. Or any type of germs surviving in that kind of heat. This is, if I was buying an entire head of cauliflower and cutting it at first, I would definitely rinse things off, because you never know if you're gonna find bugs and stuff, because produce, when it comes out of the field, it's gonna have some bugs on it, especially if you're buying organic produce that is not using all the chemicals to get rid of all the critters. You can obviously rinse them, even if they say they are pre-rinsed. That is totally dealer's choice. You can. I just typically don't, and it's personal preference, and it's never been an issue or a problem. If you have any other questions, make sure you drop a comment in the comment section below. If there are any other just easy recipes, again, like if you are new to cooking and or new to low carb, or even just new to whole food cooking, maybe you've been cooking Hamburger Helper and instant rice in a bag for your whole life, because through my 20s, that's how I cooked. It's actually kind of comical that I became a food blogger, because my husband tells everyone that when we got married, the only thing I could cook are things that came out of a box. So I understand no matter what age you are, you're different stages of cooking. So if there's a how to make a particular kind of food, no matter how simple it may seem, feel free to ask for it. I will consider making a video for that. Always looking for new content ideas. So I think that's about it. I've got about 9 minutes left on here, and then we will come back and I will show you how done I like my cauliflower. Everybody's gonna be a little different on that though. Okay, it has been 15 minutes. Take a look. All right, I'm gonna take this out. This is looking good to me. All right, this is fresh out of the oven. It's still steaming, just fresh out. You'll see right here, it is just like the little florets are just browned on the ends. That's how I like it the best. You got some really dark areas over here. That was just some overspill of the onion powder that got away from me, but it doesn't affect the flavor at all. I do want to mention, now I will make this, like I said, when I'm batch cooking on the weekends for the week, I will make a few batches of the cauliflower and use some broccoli and some Brussels sprouts, and I will pair it with different meats that I make, and we'll just have them all in different single serving size so the family can just kind of grab and go throughout the week for both lunch and dinner. But one thing my husband especially loves doing is he likes adding buffalo sauce to his cauliflower. So he does basically buffalo cauliflower. And we get this Moore's brand because I think we get off Amazon. We can also find it at our local Kroger. I'll make sure and link to it below. But it's very clean. It is keto friendly. And so if you like to spice up your cauliflower afterwards or have a little bit saucy, then my husband highly recommends the Moore's buffalo sauce. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. Quick, easy, simple recipe. I hope you enjoyed this. Again, don't forget, put your recommendations in the description box below. If there are other really new and easy and simple recipes that you would like to see just because maybe you are new at cooking. All right, you have an amazing day, and I will see you on the next video.